sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
What's up, YouTubers? Rob here, Old City Vapor with Weird Wednesday video. If you haven't seen Weird Wednesday videos yet, it's Wednesday, and it's not really a vaping video. It's Weird Wednesday video. It's weird stuff that happens around me, to me, my wife, my friends, some of my friends, not all of them. Some of my friends think I'm completely cuckoo. I don't blame them. But hey, it's the way it is. Weird stuff has always happened to me. I've said that in my first video. If you tune back in for this one, well, thank you much. Like I say, weird stuff's kind of always happened around me and to me and places I've been, seen. I live in St. Augustine, Florida. It's the nation's oldest city. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of weird stuff here. There's a lot of supposedly haunted places here. The lighthouse, the Castillo de San Marcos, the old fort, downtown. Pretty cool place. If you've never been there, you ought to definitely check it out. Yeah, it's a downtown St. Augustine's a tourist trap, but there is a lot of cool things there. Walking around the fort, it's a big place. A big chunk of land, a big fort right on the bayfront. Really cool place. You think about it. I mean, I grew up here. I used to play on the lawn as a kid there, go fishing in the moat. When there used to be water in there. And there was actually fish in there, too. Water used to come in and out of these big pipes there that fed the moat. And I used to catch a lot of flounder in there. Some redfish. And the water would, go in and out every day with the tide. So it wasn't like funky moat water with green, green gobbledygook growing in it. So it was good. The moat's dry now, except for when it rains really, really bad, then it floods. It flooded here about 6 months ago, and a couple of friends of mine were on the front pages of the paper paddleboarding. They were on a stand-up paddleboard in the moat at the fort. One of the rangers deemed it okay for them to go in there and take a picture, which was surprising because they're kind of stingy down there. Federal monument, Anyway, just a lot of history in this town. A lot of strange places. A lot of strange history too. The house I grew up in, it was my dad bought the house as a kind of a surprise to my mom, in a way. We were living in a little house, and the house that he bought, it's pretty big. It's a 4-bedroom. It's basically a 3-story. It's a 2-story, but the attic is humongous, ginormous attic. So it's basically a 3-story house. It's big. It's over 100 years old, and growing up in it, it was a trip. And like I say, my dad bought it for my mom, and me and my brother. It's kind of a surprise. It was a surprise to my mom. I was only 4 at the time, so it wasn't that big a surprise to me. It was a new house. Whoa, this is cool, whatever. But the people that he bought it from, I should say the woman that he bought it from, there was a couple living there, and they'd lived there, I don't know how long, a long time. Like I say, the house is over 100 years old, well over 100 years old now. The husband of the couple had died, and the wife was wanting to get rid of the house at a really good price. The classic setup for the old horror movie. But it was kind of strange, like I say, I was 4 at the time, so I didn't know this then. This is, stories that were relayed to me later. But I mean, I was there living it, and saw a lot of strange things in my childhood, and still to this day. I mean, the place is just, it's, no, it's home, but it's still a trip at times for sure. Like I said, my dad bought it. I was 4 years old. He was 38, and we moved into it, and shortly thereafter, my dad was in the attic and going through some stuff. That's what I was going to say. When he bought it, the lady sold it to him at a really good price. That's how he was able to just kind of come across it, buy it, and surprise my mom with it. And she left. And when I mean left, I mean she packed a bag and left. Pretty much left majority of her things in the house. In the attic, there's these big steamer trunks that were full of, family pictures and books and just all kinds of stuff, clothes. I mean, literally, when the lady sold the house, I think she packed a bag, grabbed a few things, hit the road, Jack, and didn't come back. And it was kind of weird, When I got older, I'm just looking at all this stuff, and I'm like, where'd all this stuff come from, And my mom's telling me, where it came from, how it got there and hasn't left, and there's some of it still there, actually. And but anyways, I was 4, my dad was 38, bought the house as a surprise. I'll say that for the last time. Was up in the attic, had a heart attack, and basically died. Not basically, he did definitely die. When I was 4, he was 38. Always been kind of weird, always, you can't help but think strange things. Maybe he just had a heart attack and died. Maybe something scared the shit out of him. I don't know. I don't know. He wasn't around long enough for anybody to ask. But there's some other strange tales about that too. But anyways, weird stuff would happen from time to time, quite often. And, a lot of my friends say, you're imagining things, maybe so, but not everything. You're around weird stuff long enough, you start questioning yourself. Did that really just happen? Am I just making that up in my head? But, I've got tons of stories that, I'm sure I'll include them from time to time in the Weird Wednesday videos. But for instance, am I making things up? Am I imagining that? Well, I was probably 13 years old, 14, something like that. We're sitting there one night. It was on a Sunday evening. My mom had remarried. She remarried when I was 9 or 10. So, my mom, my stepdad, me, and our 1, 2, 3 dogs. 3 dogs are sitting there. And we were watching, I think at the time we were watching Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. We used to watch that every Sunday night, and we would watch The Wonderful World of Disney. Back when TV used to be good. And we would hang out and eat dinner and watch Wild Kingdom and Wonderful World of Disney, and just shows that were always on back then. And I remember sitting there one night. We were watching, Marlon Perkins and Jim. They're out, doing wrestling some gator or something, who knows what. And our 3 dogs were laying there. And I think I think my mom had made T-bone steaks, if I remember correctly, because I think we'd given the bones, or part of the bone, to the dogs, so they were just laying there, they were getting their chew on a steak bone. And how dogs are, they're focused when they got a bone. But we're sitting there watching TV, dogs are all chilled out, sitting by the fireplace. All of a sudden they jump up and they're raising hell, and they go running through the living room to where the stairs go up to the second story. These wooden stairs, with a banister. They're all barking, they're raising hell, and they're looking up at the steps, and all three of these dogs, all three of them, all at the same time, are growling, and all three of their heads are going, watching something come down the steps. You know, and me, my mom, and my stepdad are sitting across the room just kind of going, really? We're just watching this whole thing. The dogs are sitting there, and they're kind of a cross between growling and kind of whimpering. They watch this, whatever they're seeing. We couldn't see anything. But the dogs are watching this thing come down the steps. They follow it to the front door. We hear, bam! The dogs kind of jump. And they back up a little bit more, and they're growling. And they watch something go all the way back up the steps and around the corner. So, at this point, you know, I'm a little bit of 13-year-old freaked out because my bedroom was upstairs, and I'd be damned if I was going up them steps that night to go sleep in my bedroom. Nope, not happening. I was like, Mom, can I go over to Johnny's house and spend the night tonight? We're having a, gotta go. The dogs, you know, they watched it go back up the steps. They come running back over, pretty much abandon their bones, their steak bones that they were involved in chewing, and are laying right at our feet, like hugged up really close. So, am I imagining that? Did our three dogs, were they just like, hey, let's screw with the humans tonight. Let's freak them out. I don't think dogs do that. If they do, man, they're badass. But they got me for sure. You know, a lot of things happen, and I question myself sometimes about, you know, wow, did I just really, am I imagining that? And I don't, you know, animals don't really, they don't lie. They saw something. What it was, I have no clue. But they were intent on watching it, and it was enough to freak them out enough for them to pretty much abandon their nice little juicy steak bones that they were intently involved in chewing at the time. So their reaction kind of freaked me out even more, because at that point I knew something had just happened, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew something had just happened. Needless to say, I didn't sleep upstairs that night. I remained downstairs, and I don't really know that I even slept that night, because that kind of gave me a weird feeling for some reason. You know, there's tons of other stories in that house I can tell you about, as far as just weird things like that happening all the time. Like I say, my dad died when I was 4. He had a heart attack there, died. Wasn't around long enough for any, you know, to have a discussion. Hey, wait a minute, before you died, let me ask you, you know, what were you doing? What, you know? Nope, none of that. Coincidence? I don't know. Could be. Maybe not. Who knows? A lot of times I always wonder, is that my dad coming back to check on me? Damn, he's creepy. I don't know. Weird Wednesdays. Anyways, like I say, the town I grew up in, nation's oldest city, always lots of weird things. There's tons of ghost tours and attractions and stuff downtown, you know. The Haunted Jail ghost tour. You know, Ghostbusters guys, they came here and did investigation, paranormal investigation of the lighthouse, St. Augustine Lighthouse. And if you've never seen that one, it's pretty trippy. I know that you can do a lot of stuff with cameras, but they got some pretty trippy stuff when they're looking up, and you know, they're kind of following something up the stairs in the lighthouse, and they pan up and they see this weird kind of, who knows, it looks like a person, kind of looks over the railing, looks down at them. Dude, that freaked me out. Is it real? I don't know. Could be, could not be. They swore it was real, and the videos looks pretty damn convincing. You know, there's always the skeptic. I'm even one of them. You know, I don't believe it unless I see it myself, or you know somebody that is telling me the story, know them pretty well, or whatever. But it was pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out if you like that stuff. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I'll see if I can find the link to it, and I'll throw it in the video down below. But yeah, this it's pretty cool. A lot of history, a lot of good history, a lot of weird history, some bad history, and I don't know. One, for instance, a place that is a very well-known, one of the nicer bed and breakfast inns here in St. Augustine. Like I say, I was born and raised here, grew up here. My family that have been here since way back. This bed and breakfast place. One of the ghost tours, me and my wife, we go on ghost tours every once in a while. You know, we enjoy it. It's fun, entertaining. Went on a ghost tour one night, and we're walking by this bed and breakfast, and somebody asked a question, and they said, "Oh yeah, this is so and so bed and breakfast. You know, it's really popular. Blah blah blah. It's a really nice rooms and on and on." And I was kind of waiting for the story to come out. No story. They didn't say anything about it, and I was like, "Do you guys know this used to be a funeral home?" And everybody kind of stopped, you know, and some of the other people in the ghost tour, you know, they look at me like, "Who is this clown?" You know, and I told them, "Hey, I grew up like right down the street from here. And yeah, this used to be a funeral home, and I used to actually work in this building. Not when it was a funeral home. That was way before my time. But I had a friend that had a business, and he had rented the place for a while and set up shop in there. And yeah, I worked there for, I don't know, probably about a year or so, and helping him out. Trippy place, man. Weird place for sure. Definitely used to be a funeral home. And a lot of people, well, hell, the person doing the ghost tour didn't know it. The people on the ghost tour definitely didn't know it until I told them. And now, I believe that place is a local stop on the ghost tour. But, you know, there's a lot of people that are doing the ghost tours that, you know, they're whatever, move here from someplace, and they don't really know the history. There's not too many of us locals around here left. But, yeah, used to be a funeral home. Now it's a bed and breakfast. That's a plus in some cases, and a very not so plus in some other cases for some people. They don't really want to spend the night in an old funeral home. The place is really nice, though. It's really nice. I haven't stayed in there myself, but I might one night. Who knows? One of the other places that's on a ghost tour. It's a little cigar bar called Stogie's, and went down there to see a friend of mine play music one night. He's a really, really, really good guitar player and singer, and me and a couple friends went down to see him play, and it was pretty crowded downstairs. It's a small place, but we went upstairs, and there was him and her and me. There's three of us up there, and we're just hanging out, you know, BSing, and you can kind of look down. There's like a hole in the floor, you know, with a railing around, not just a hole in the floor, but whoa, where'd Rob go? He fell down the damn hole again. But you know, you could hear the music and everything, and see him down there playing. So all of a sudden, a bunch of people start coming up the steps, and I'm like, oh damn, it's a ghost tour. You know, it's one of the stops on the pub crawl ghost tour. You know, they go from pub to pub and tell ghost stories and all. Yeah, kind of cool. Fun to do if you like that sort of thing. It's definitely fun. And by the time you get to the last pub, if you've had a drink or two at every one of them, you hope your car's parked. Well, you actually hope the taxi comes and picks you up, because most people don't end up wanting to drive by the end of the night because you've been to every pub on the tour and had 1 or 2 or 3 drinks at each one. And a lot of people are definitely doing the pub crawl after they leave. Anyways, up there, the guy's telling the story about, yeah, this is blah, 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 it's haunted, and, I've personally seen a guy get pushed down the steps here, and the steps in this place, I mean, they're like this, and they're like this wide, really narrow. You know how they used to build stuff in the old days. And steep and narrow. And he said a guy got shoved down the steps one night. I don't know, maybe he just fell down the steps. Hell, I almost fell down the steps. Definitely nobody shoved me, but the guy swore that something physically shoved him down the steps because he cleared several steps before he even hit the first one. And they talked about the bathroom. People have gone in there's a bathroom upstairs, and people have gone in this bathroom, and if the lights go out there and you look in the mirror, you see a face, and blah, blah, blah. He's telling this whole story. And, there's some girls up there, and they're like, no way, I'm going in the bathroom. And everybody's taking pictures with their cell phones and trying to catch orbs and this and that. So what do? I get up. I go in the bathroom, look around. There's a toilet over there. There's a sink over here. There's a big mirror right there. And there's a light switch right there. Click. I turn the lights off. And I stayed in there for, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes, 7 minutes. And I guess people saw the light go out, from under the door. And they were kind of like thinking, what the hell's going on in there, And I'm just hanging out in there, waiting for something to happen. And all of a sudden, nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. I got bored and I turned the light back on and I came out and people are looking at me like, what'd you see? What, did you take pictures? And I did take some pictures while I was in there with my cell phone. And they came out, like the screen on this, minus that, they came out pitch black because it was pitch black in there. And anyway, people are asking me, did you see anything? Did you take pictures? Did you, what happened? What happened? Nothing happened. Sorry. Wish something did, but it didn't. But hey, that's part of me. I figured I'd give it a shot anyways. So I don't know. Weird things like that. Weird town, cool town. Love it here. Been all over the place. Always lived here. And that's about all I'm going to ramble about tonight. Like I say, I've got tons and tons and tons of stories to convey, to tell, to whatever. I don't know. Gonna have a vape after all that rambling. So anyways, that's about it. If you got any ideas, anything you want me to talk about, or you had any weird experiences, definitely let me know. Give me a comment below. Hopefully the old YouTuber and the Google Plus have quit squabbling back and forth with each other and figured out a way to make their comments work. Other than that, like I say, thanks for watching. Tune back in next Wednesday for another weird video. I'm sure I'll have another story. I got a whole bunch written down to, man, it's going to be weeks and weeks. May have to do 2 a week. Or just talk about more crap in one video. Because everybody knows I can ramble. Okay. Catch you guys later. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Since today is that hump day thing. Whatever. It's Wednesday. It's Weird Wednesday. And speaking of weird Wednesdays, just a little while ago, like literally 30 minutes before I made this video, I was going to talk about it, but it happens here so often, it's not really that weird to me. I went in the bathroom, and right when I walked in the bathroom, I got the old cigarette smoke in the face. Only lasted for, maybe a minute and a half. I smelled cigarettes, and then whoosh, gone. What the hell, man? I don't know. My wife's dad, he died in this house. We came home, and he had died. We found him. Bummer, huh? He was a heavy smoker. So I don't know. Maybe he comes back every once in a while just to drop in and check on us. And smoke a cigarette and blow it in my face and go, hey, douchebag, I'm back.